Good morning, Delaware. We are happy to be here this morning. It's going to be a beautiful day.
It is already. It feels like a beautiful day. I'm not cold right now.
No, this is. Can we say it, Mark? Can we say we're in spring?
No. Oh,
yes, I did it.
But we live in Ohio. When you say that out loud, that makes the cold weather gods come back.
This is true. Last week, that storm that came through, I had tulips one day, and then the storm came through, and the next day I did not have tulips anymore.
No tulips anymore. No tulips.
All of the leaves, all of the petals were throughout the streets.
That's like the story of everything I plant.
Right.
That's the story of everything.
Without the storm.
Right. It's just I put it in the ground. I water it too much, not enough. It just dies.
Yeah, it's all right. You know what? We'll just let nature take care of nature. How about that?
You know what? I like that idea.
We have a great guest with us this morning. Alan Goss is with us. Alan is the director of the COSI Science Festival, and we're going to talk about all things science and STEAM and community and COSI for the second half of the show. So good morning, Alan.
Thanks for having me.
We're excited. As you know, Delaware County District Library has participated in the COSI Science Festival in the past, but I think Alan's also maybe going to share some tidbits about some other fun things happening around all of Central Ohio.
Yeah, and it's more than just Central Ohio. We have about 165, last time I counted, things over the course of about a week.
Wow. That's amazing.
It's a lot of stuff, but it's because of partners. Like, we have a lot of great partners. That's why it all happens.
Absolutely.
We
Well,
love
stay
our
tuned.
partnership
You
with
won't
you.
want to miss out because we're going to give you like the hot tips on how to get your hands on one of those COSI lunch
Ooh,
boxes.
that is an important tip to get.
Yeah, so you got to stay
You
tuned
heard
for
it
the second half of the show. As usual, though, we will begin our show talking a little bit about books. So, Molly, have you read anything or listened to anything good lately?
Yes.
Is it cozy?
Yes.
Good. I need
And there's
cozy.
a body.
Oh, Lord.
What's a cozy mystery without a body?
Okay, so this one is a series that I actually started on book 2 and fell so in love with that I have been really fighting to get back to book 1, and I got it this week. Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by the author Jesse Q. Sutanto. This is the first in the Vera Wong series. You might know this author, though. She also writes a series called Dial A for Aunties.
Oh, yeah.
Vera Wong is now one of my favorite. There are only 2 of these right now. I am dying for her to come out with a third. Literally, maybe dying.
I hope not.
So you never know.
Please do, thank you.
If I go to Vera Wong's tea house, so she actually has named her tea house Vera Wang's Tea House.
Uh-oh, that feels like it's infringing upon
Yes,
certain things.
because she thought if she used a name like Vera Wang,
Right.
it would get people to come into her tea house a little bit more, thinking she was a famous dressmaker.
Oh, dear.
Vera is a character. She has opinions on everything. Her son really isn't around very much. She's kind of lonely. Not a lot of people are coming in her shop until one day she comes downstairs from her apartment into the shop, and there's a dead man there.
Oh.
She does the right thing. She calls the police.
Thank goodness.
But while she's waiting for them to come,
Does she call
does
a
a few
fashion
things.
police?
She does all sorts of things. She finds a permanent black marker, and she outlines the shape of the body,
Yeah.
just like what she's seen on TV.
Absolutely.
Very careful not to touch the body. She was very responsible, but when the police get there, they're like, "You did what? Why?" The police aren't sure this is even a murder. But Vera is. And before you know it, Vera makes the decision that anybody who comes back into her restaurant is now a suspect.
Obviously.
They also are now part of her inner circle, her new best friend. She will have them drive her places, buy her things, and she will even maybe become grandmother to one of their children.
Oh,
Because she wants to.
right.
Vera cannot be deterred in any way, sort or form. You are sitting there going, how does she get away with it? But you also see yourself as somebody who's like, if Vera told me to, I'd do it. She shows up with food, wonderful, wonderful food, and just wins over the hearts and minds. People are standing there going, I don't even know why I love her so much. But this is a mystery that gets solved because Vera decided it would. This is a group of characters that you want now in your own life. Vera Wong, book 1, read them out of order. It's fine. I had no negative impacts by reading them out of order.
Oh, good. Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murders.
Yes, for murderers.
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 Oh, murderers. Okay.
Murderers.
I was going to say the advice for murders versus the advice for murderers is...
It's different, but it's all about Vera, and that's all that matters in this book.
That's a fun one. Oh, I love that. All right, so Alan, you shared that you have a little one at home, so you're in that stage where you're reading some good night stories.
Oh yeah, we go through a lot of books every night. Certainly more than I've ever read at any point in my life. At one
there
time.
you go. Yeah, literacy can come at any age.
Yeah. Well, I love reading. I just don't have as much time to do it as I used to.
Yes.
But,
Right.
You know, I was never going through 2 or 3 books a day.
Oh yeah.
You know, at any other point in my life, where I could read. But
What are the hits? What are the best of hits in your household right now?
well, he's 2.5, and right now he's really into Frog and Toad.
I love
Cool.
Frog and
They're
Toad.
hysterical, and I never realized how funny they are. I don't really remember any of the specific stories from when I was a kid, but
Yeah.
they're hysterical.
Right.
And then last night we read Goodnight Gorilla.
Yes.
Oh, I
which
love Goodnight
My wife
Gorilla.
pointed out, she noticed there's a balloon in every page.
Yes.
And the balloon gets farther and farther and farther away. And so I did not know that until 38. And the most recent time I read Goodnight Gorilla.
Yeah, I did
Yes.
know that there is the balloon on every page, but I did not know that the perspective is intentionally.
I wonder if that's closer you get to sleep. I wonder if that was in her mind. The further it gets, the more you're ready to go into dreamland.
Oh, that's so cute.
She also pointed out when all the animals leave the zookeeper's house and go back to the zoo, there's like one person. Well, when they follow the zookeeper home, there's one person in a building looking out at his house and the animals going in. And then when they go back, there's 2 people. And then when they like go back and forth, there's always one additional person looking out the window at this.
Because they're
parade
like,
of
what are the
animals
shenanigans
leaving the zoo."
happening?
Yeah.
Oh, cute. Oh, that's a really good call out. So I'm going to have to go home and find that book and look through it again to see all of these fun little pieces.
Well, and I have to say, you mentioned Frog and Toad. There was a parody of Frog and Toad written during COVID for adults. It is for adults called Frog and Toad Are Doing Their Best.
Oh.
Bedtime stories for adults. Or for trying times. It is just a sweet little book. It was perfect during COVID. It is not for children.
Right.
It is sort of
Good to
like
know.
the heaviness of Frog and Toad for adults.
Yes.
So you just reminded me, though, if you fall in love with it with your kids, there is one just for you.
I will check that out. My wife likes to say that she is Toad. Like there's one where he wigs out because he loses his list and doesn't know what to do and then can't cross, like losing the list isn't on the list that he has now lost.
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
a crisis.
And
you
that's
can't
what this
cross it
book
off.
is. It's like adult crises that hit. It's like the everyday crisis of adults, like our perspective. It's not like a naughty for adults. It's just over kids' heads. It was lovely.
We missed Frog and Toad in our household, so I'm going to have to go look through that too. Secrets, fun storybook secrets with Alan. I like this. You might be a new segment on the show. We'll find out.
Sure, I'll come back anytime.
Good. All right. Well, I like to point out little secrets in our catalog. So if you are searching our website on a PC or on your mobile phone, it does not have this way to do this on the app, or I guess your Mac, but on a desktop computer or on your mobile phone. You can actually search our catalog by list, which is a really cool feature. So whenever you go to our catalog and you hit the little search button, it'll say search. And then you can drop down catalog, website events, or digital magazines. So leave it on catalog. And then the next little drop down, it has keyword, title, author, subject, tag. Those are all normal. But what's special to our catalog is by list or by user. And the list lets you look for a group of books that are very specific to a topic that you are looking for. So, for example, if you're looking for great books for kids getting ready to enter kindergarten, great books for 2-year-olds, great books about frogs, something like that, and you search the catalog by list with that keyword, then you will get some nicely curated lists. There's another filter that you can use off to the side that lets you only look at lists that were made by library staff
Love
members.
that.
So
That's great.
they're going to be a little bit more highly curated than probably, your neighbor next door. Although who knows, they could have wonderful lists too. And
I find it's a great way to get more contemporary or the really ongoing classics.
Right.
Like, it's not just a list that they've pulled the word and said this word is in this book.
Right.
It's people who really are like, this book really hits this piece of it.
Yeah, they've thought a little bit more in depth about it. So in our theme for today, we are talking about inventions and innovation and STEAM and science. And last month, America's 250 theme for Ohio was American Inventions, Business, and Work. And so our staff member, Hannah, put together a list of great books that feature American innovators. So you've got Titan, the Life of John D. Rockefeller Sr. That's a Ron Chernow, so that's going to take you like 8 years to read. He writes very lengthy biographies, but they are the best
I love every one of them I've read.
Right. If you don't know that name, his biography of Alexander Hamilton is what Lin-Manuel Miranda based the musical on. So they're pretty beefy. We've got Trust. It's by Hernan Diaz. It's a Pulitzer Prize winning work of fiction, and it imagines a business empire and explores a story through different decades and perspectives. So this is kind of a fiction answer to American Enterprise.
Nice.
But it's going to feel very familiar to what we know of American inventors. If you ever thought that things that might seem boring could be made fun, you would read They Made America. They Made America is by Harold Evans, and the subtitle is From the Steam Engine to the Search Engine, 2 Centuries of Innovators. Those are always fun.
I think I'd love that one.
Yeah, they're going to be people who rise to the top who you haven't necessarily heard of, or they're going to be inventions that you use literally every day, the search engine, and they're going to give you the origin story,
yes,
if you will, of those sorts of things. And then, of course, we always love learning about some of our women inventors like Madam C.J. Walker. Her book is called Self-Made. It's by Alayla Bundles. And also Miss Joy Mangano. And so Inventing Joy, Dare to Build a Brave and Creative Life. So I would just suggest you give a little perusal to our catalog, but I thought we would talk a little bit about inventors today since we're going to get to that in the second half of the show.
You know, this is one of my favorite things, especially Ohio inventors.
Yes.
Like the pop tab was invented in Ohio.
It is a necessity.
How could you drink your pop
You wouldn't.
without your pop tab?
That's right.
Well, I'm from Dayton, Ohio originally, so we know a thing or two about inventors. But interestingly enough, the street right behind COSI is going to get renamed. It's Washington Boulevard right now, and it's going to get renamed Granville T. Woods Boulevard
Seriously?
on April 23rd. Yep.
That's exciting.
I am so excited. We're going to have some fun talking about this.
You heard it here first. Well, with that, we'll take a break so we can get right back into the conversation with Alan Goss from COSI talking about the COSI Science Festival. So stay tuned. Welcome back. This morning we are joined by Alan Goss, the director of the COSI Science Festival. And this is a really fun partnership. The Delaware County District Library, this is only our second year participating, but the community of Delaware has been a longtime participant. And we're going to talk about all the fun things that happen during the COSI Science Festival. So, Alan, why don't you kick it off and tell us a little bit about what exactly this festival is, when it takes place, and how people can participate?
Well, it's a long story.
Yeah.
COSI Science
Well,
Festival,
we've got 12 minutes now.
I can talk about it. Don't worry. COSI Science Festival is a lot of things, but first and foremost, it's a collaborative celebration of science, science, technology, engineering, art, and math. Both the benefits those fields bring to our daily lives and the amount of opportunities that lie within them. There's a lot of things going on as part of the COSI Science Festival, but it's certainly made possible by all the people we work with. There's a lot of different organizations, and they are why it's as great as it is, first and foremost. So thank you to you, Delaware County Library, and everyone else that participates. But COSISciFest.org is the website where you can find information about all of these things. And officially, it's April 29th through May 2nd this year. But there's some things that start before the Science Festival officially starts.
Ooh.
So starting April 25th, if you go to an Access karaoke and trivia show,
What?
you can win ticket. There's a COSI round, and so you can win tickets to the Science of Pixar, which is a traveling exhibit. We have a COSI right now.
I'm staring at Nicole because I'm like, trivia, you're good at this.
I'm in.
Can you win us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I win? I'm probably not eligible.
Well, we're like reviewing the questions right now, so
There we go.
You got an advantage. But so we're really grateful to our partners at Access Karaoke and Trivia about that. But that starts April 25th. There's about 70 locations where they're doing that over the course of the following week. On April 28th, we have a program called The Color of Science. and about 300 different students will get to meet with a lot of different organizations around Central Ohio and learn about the opportunities in those fields. And then April 29th is when the Science Festival officially starts. And it's kicked off by the Color of Science, and then most of the things the public can go to start April 29th. So April 29th, 30th, and May 1st, there's about 95 different events. Delaware's got 2. I'll talk about those here in just a second. But Delaware has 2. They go out to Marysville. They go as far west as Dayton. They go all the way down to southeast Ohio. Lancaster, the Wayne National Forest, and Lake Hope State Park all have something.
Go Southern Ohio.
Yeah, Newark, Marysville, and so on. But these are all called community STEAM events. And the idea is that an organization can create an event that showcases their vision and their mission and then link it to science. So these are a lot of different things. They could be a nature walk. They could be a brewery tour. They could be you go up to the Honda Heritage Center and learn about all the different cars that Honda has made, or tour the wind tunnel that they use at the Transportation Research Center. You can see how Land Grant makes beer.
Right.
Okay.
Go to the library. There's a lot of different things.
You're literally making my entire summer plans for me as you talk.
Right.
Like, I need to write each one of these down right now.
Well, and I think that's the neat thing, Alan, is that, some of these, sometimes when people think of COSI, they think kids. But, COSI is also proven you have your after dark, for your 21 plus crowds. But then this is also something where there are going to be some events that are geared toward adults who lifelong learning. It's a primary mission of the library. To go and learn about the science of how brewing and fermentation work, or different types of art. And so at that COSISciFest.org, all of these things that you're talking about are listed. If there are tickets, they can buy tickets there.
Yeah, most of them are free. Some there's registration, or some you need attendance to.
Because there's limited space.
Like the museum, or there's limited space or whatever. But yeah, most of them are free.
Right.
So everybody get online, because I'm getting online and getting my spots now.
Yeah. Well, I can lead into some of the things that we're doing as the library. So basically on Wednesday, that first kickoff night, April 29th. Oh, and I just lost my notes. We are going to have Whiz Bang Science. Do you have it in front of you? Alan, you're the best.
I love Whiz Bang Science, by the way. I love it.
Learn about the moon. I got it. We'll learn about the moon landing from Whiz Bang Science. So kids and families are invited to join us. This is going to be at our Liberty branch. Dr. Dave is presenting the science and history of the moon landing, and how apropos, how perfect with Artemis 2, just making their journey. And so I'm sure Dr. Dave is going to have a lot to say but he's going to specifically look at the 1969 moon landing.
And if you have never seen Dr. Dave, this is your chance. Get out there. This guy makes stuff blow up. I watched him teach us how to rip a entire phone book apart. For anybody who doesn't know what a phone book it is, an extremely large book with numbers in it. So, but it was amazing to watch. I mean, every time I've watched him, I'm just in awe at what he makes happen in front of us with just the world around us.
Is he making other appearances throughout this science festival, or do we have the exclusive on Dr. Dave?
I'm pretty sure you have the exclusive.
Yes.
Way to go, DCDL.
Everybody get here.
Yes. On Friday, then, we actually have 2 events that we're working with with the Delaware Library. That morning, 9:30 to 11:30, we're going to Powell's Touch a Truck, and we're going to we're going to pass out some learning lunch boxes. So, Alan, why don't you go ahead and tell us about what these learning lunch boxes are, and how they'll pop up throughout this festival?
So it's this year's theme. There's a different theme of learning lunchbox we give away at the COSI Science Festival each year to all the different great community partners we work with. And so this year the theme is American Innovation, which ties in with American 250. And it's a box that contains a week's worth of activities. And so the idea is that a family can do them together and learn more about American innovation.
Yeah, we got a preview of this box last year. We were a special community. So if you did get a box last year, it's the same box, which is perfectly fine because you'll want to do it all over again for America's birthday this year. But it's so cute. It starts with you, using a toilet paper roll and some tissue paper and a glow stick to make Lady Liberty's fire torch.
Seriously, I need to borrow somebody's kids. Somebody lend me your kids.
They're so very cute, and they have a really high value because you're getting, like you said, a week's worth of science experiments, and each community is passing out 400 of these at their different events.
Yeah. I think you guys are getting it a little more even.
Well, we'll pass out at
Really?
PAL and we'll pass out at downtown Delaware. Yeah. So when we're at the PAL Festival, or not PAL Festival, sorry, when we're at the PAL Touch a Truck on Friday morning, May 1st, we will have our bookmobile there, but we will also have 400 learning lunch boxes.
Amazing.
So make your way to that festival. Kids do have to be present with their adults to take home their lunch box. Adults don't just come up and ask for 20. And then you get to take your learning lunch box home. And then later that night, we're going to be in downtown Delaware at First Friday. We've got a whole boatload of stuff happening during that. We're celebrating American inventors during that particular event. So we are going to, you're going to go through our different partners, and you're going to learn about Hedy Lamarr, who was a film star, but also invented telecommunication. Well, a portion of telecommunications.
There are a few books on her that are absolutely worth your time too.
Yeah.
Your jaw will drop because they thought she was airhead, and here she's writing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You're going to learn about, did you know that the inventor of the Super Soaker was a NASA scientist, Lonnie Johnson? So,
That's one of the many ways NASA's contributed.
I know, contributed
society.
to our society. The Wright brothers, of course, are going to make an appearance. You can't have an Ohio event talking about innovation without talking about the Wright brothers.
And don't forget, if you haven't read up about the Wright sister, she was just as important.
There we go.
There we go.
That's a teaser, too.
I will need to look that up.
I am a big fan of her.
So you're going to come downtown Delaware, and you're going to get almost like a little field guide, a little lab guide, and you're going to make your way around our different partner stations, and you're going to learn about these little contributions, not little, but these big contributions to science. And along the way, you're going to also journey by our bookmobile, where we will also be passing out the learning lunch boxes.
And the way that bookmobile works is its own type of science.
Yeah, it really is.
The locks, the chains, everything that keeps those books solidly on it while it's driving, and then rolls everything out for you later.
It is innovation. So, Alan, what are some of the other highlights that are happening? And then also tell us about like the big festival happening on Saturday.
Well, so April 29th, 30th, and May 1st, all those different things are going on. COSISciFest.org is where you can find the schedule of all of them. And then on May 2nd, we have the big science celebration, and this is the final day that's at COSI.
Yeah.
It's in all the parks surrounding the building, the museum in downtown Columbus. And we'll have, I think it's 128 different exhibitors. NASA's one. They'll have a moon rock.
Wow.
They'll be there.
There'll be an actual moon rock?
Yeah, an actual moon rock inside the museum.
Prove it.
Oh.
Come see it. That's inside the museum. Admission still applies to come to see the exhibits, but the NASA stuff is free. So people are welcome to see that. And then the big science celebration is free to attend. So 128 other exhibitors will be outside the museum in a tent. They each bring a free hands-on activity. Most of them, it will teach a skill that the person would need for a career in that industry.
Cool.
That's amazing.
Ohio already does have a lot of open STEAM jobs, and will over the next few years have even more openings, and there's not people to fill them.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of research that says if a person goes to an event like this and they have a conversation with someone in a line of work, they engage with them and then learn a skill associated with that field, they're dramatically more likely to then go on and get a STEAM career.
You know, it gets into your head that, like, I thought as a kid I wasn't good at math and science. And then I became a librarian, and I'm like, I'm really good at math and science when it has to do with libraries. Maybe I was always good at math and science. Yep. So get there and see that you actually probably can do some of this stuff.
Yeah, we hear there's an event that the Columbus Poetry Cauldron does. And so they do like science-themed poetry. It's an open mic night. And frequently the attendees will say, well, I'm not a science person, but I wrote this poem. And it's like, you're all science people or math people or whatever. You just haven't engaged in it in a way that you found interesting yet.
Exactly.
You know, we share that with reading, too. How many people come up to me and say, I don't read? And I'm like, but you do every day.
Yep.
You read the back of your cereal box. That's reading. That's valid.
Right.
Street signs.
Street signs.
Yeah.
The internet.
Yep.
That is actually reading, people. If you're reading it on the internet, you're reading.
I mean, it may not be true, but you're still
reading it. It may not be true. That's not deciphering.
Well, that's also why we have the Science Festival.
That's a different learned skill. Exactly. Alan, what time is the big science festival happening on Saturday?
The big science celebration is 11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay.
And we are going to put it into the universe that we are going to have excellent weather that day. we're going to have the best weather we could possibly
You're
have.
making me nervous today.
I'm gonna knock on wood. We always say it's going to be sunny. It is rain
It
or
is.
shine.
It is rain
We
or shine.
still, last year, it was on May 3rd, and it was the rainiest May 3rd in Columbus history.
Yes.
Literally, it set the record, and we
Yes.
still had about 15,000 people come.
And you know what? They will never forget it.
15,000.
My
Wow.
favorite events are when I went somewhere, got soaked, had fun anyway, and I have the best memories from it. Make memories with your kids that
Definitely.
are in the rain. It's worth it, people.
Okay.
We planted a tree. It's a sweet gum tree
That's right.
that went around the moon as a seed
What?
on Artemis 1.
Right.
So it's about 4.5 feet or so feet tall.
Oh, you can check
So
on
you
the
have a
tree.
space tree?
Yeah, it's in Dorian Green, which is the park just west of COSI.
I am loving this. Also, I feel like you're getting us space ready for May the 4th because May the 4th be with you is going to be here soon.
It's right after the
You're getting us
festival.
all warmed up and
And
science
Revenge of the
ready.
5th.
And Revenge of the 5th. You and I are friends now, aren't we? Forever.
All right. Well, that is our time for today. COSISciFest.org, COSISCIFest.org, and come see us downtown Powell, downtown Delaware on May 1st, at the Liberty Branch on April 29th. And it's just going to be a wonderful, really, really wonderful time. So thank you, Alan, for joining us.
Thank you both for having me and all the stuff that you're both doing. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And Molly, I'll find you somewhere this weekend. I'm sure wild and weird.
Oh, it is going to be wild and weird.
I can't wait to hear about it next week.
Everybody come back to hear about the Troll Doll Museum, Alliance, Ohio. You don't know what's happening, but Lloyd and I are on our way.
All right, Mark, thanks for driving the ship.
You betcha.
Until next week, we will see you in the stacks.
I'm just here to hear about the troll dolls.